Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Today on Alimah Insights, we will be discussing a frequently asked question, which is I would like to work, but my husband will not allow me. Now, before we start discussing the different aspects of that question, one thing we need to always keep in mind is that it is not haram for Muslim women to work. As long as she's able to dress modestly at work and she's able to wear her hijab, and her line of work is not affiliated with any non Islamic behaviors, there's nothing wrong with her working. And just a key point to note over here is the same applies to men minus the hijab. So let's get right to our question. And that is, again, I'll just repeat it for reference, that my husband will not allow me to work. What should I do? Now, sometimes the question comes in the form where the wife is okay with her not working. However, she just wants to know if he's allowed to stop her from working when he is able to provide for her and her children. And normally the discussion between them is that she'll take a gap of 5 to 6 years and then she'll get back into her career once the children are older. There's nothing wrong with that. And yes, he's allowed to say that if he's able to provide her with a comfortable life and cover all of the basic necessities as well as her lifestyle. The second scenario is a bit more complicated. And that is when finances are not involved, but the sister comes and she says that she would like to grow in her career and she worked hard to get to where she is. However, her husband is not supportive of her job and does not want her to work. So what ends up happening is there's friction between the couple. And at this point, the best thing for the sister to do is to understand what is his reasoning behind this decision. And the best thing to do at this point is to get a third person involved who is intelligent, sensible, and unbiased towards the relationship. Sometimes hearing the input from a third person puts things into perspective. However, this is not something that should be the reason for ending a marriage or filing for divorce, unless the marriage has abuse and becomes dysfunctional. Another point to note here is if the husband does not want his wife to work, it's based on his personal preference. To label it haram would be wrong, because that would contradict with many of the Muslim women who worked during the Prophet ﷺ's time and during the time of the Khulafa. One example is Shifa radiallahu ta'ala anha. She was appointed by none other than Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu as the officer of the marketplace in Medina. And her role was to basically inspect the marketplace and to make sure that all transactions were equitable and halal. So after looking at the different aspects of this question, we learned 3 different things. The first thing we learned is that for all the young women who are still unmarried, it is very important for them to share their intentions about work and careers with their prospective spouses. This will help both of them be on the same page and create stipulations that align with their personal goals, and together they can grow. It also won't create any surprises after their marriage. The second thing we learned is that it's paramount for Muslim women to have financial literacy. They need to know what their rights are and what their responsibilities are towards finances in a marriage. And this will help them have open communication with their spouses as well as set their expectations for their finances. And the third thing that's very, very important and key to any successful marriage and any aspect of marriage is mutual communication. Not everything is black and white. So instead of comparing our marriages to other people's, it's important for us to sit down and discuss matters with our spouse and find solutions that work for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to do the right, and may He guide us towards the right path. Thank you so much for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.